Kantara Chapter 1 has finally arrived in the theatres, and I know the one big question on everyone's mind: does it live up to what we expected? Well, I have just come back after watching it, and let me tell you right away, this film is an experience you cannot shake off easily. The story picks up from the old that Kantara introduces to us, but here Rishab Shetty takes us decades back in time, giving us the roots of that folklore. If you have seen the first installment, the connection makes the experience richer, but even if you have not, this chapter can't hold on its own. It feels like stepping into an entirely new universe with myth, culture, and human greed collide. And speaking of performance, Rishab Shetty is on fire. His acting doesn't just match what he delivered in the original, it surpasses. You can see the way he has stretched his own limits, but emotionally and physically, but frame feels like it drenched in authenticity. Jairam and Rukmini also shine through its strong character arcs. Rukmini in particular is not treated as a side character, but this time she brings power, grace that actually push the story forward. Talking about the production, from the very first shot, the scale is massive. You get to see the money on screen, the cinematography, the sound design, the VFX, everything comes together beautifully. Do not go by the trailer because honestly, it hides almost everything. What you saw there was perhaps 1% of what the film actually about. The level of mystery and surprise built into it is extraordinary. The first of the film is playful, even humorous at times, with familiar faces and laughter moments, but as soon as the interval hits, the tone shifts completely. There is this jaw-dropping sequence with the tiger, something so wildly creative that it immediately reminds you Indian cinema boldest visual experiment. Compared to that, the second half explored into action, spiritually and raw emotion. Now then comes the climax. I honestly do not think my words can do justice to it. The last 20 to 25 minutes of this film are unlike anything Indian cinema has dared to attempt. It is not just action, it is spiritual energy unfolding on screen. You see the elements of nature, fire, earth, air and water fusing into a cinematic dance that feels more like a divine ritual than a choreography fight. Last time people called the Kantara the climax temple like. This time it feels like the entire theatre transformed into a pilgrimage. Yes, the film does run a little longer and some villainous character could have been sharper, but these are minor complaints when stacked against a climax that deserve not 5 star, not even 10, but infinite. The music by itself deserves a separate mention. It doesn't just complement the visuals, it tells you when to laugh, when to fear, and when to bow your head down in silence. And yes, the iconic Baraha Rupam returns, and this time paired with images that will stay with you for weeks. So in simple words, Kantara Chapter 1 is not just a movie, it's a cultural phenomenon. It celebrates folklore, questions power, and humbles human arrogance before force of nature and faith. Rishabh Shetty is not just acting or directing here, it feels as if he has been chosen to tell this story. So would I recommend it? Absolutely. This one demands a theater watch, not for the loud sound or big screen alone, but because it is the kind of shared experience you want to feel with a crowd. It makes every gasp, every tear, every stunned silence even more powerful. So book your tickets and go feel it for yourself. And when you do, tell me, did it shake you the same way it did it for me? Because right now I still can't get it out of my head.